We begin with the latest in the town of Brookside.
Embattled former police chief Mike Jones is now in trouble with the law himself. The former chief resigned in January, and we're learning that he was arrested today for impersonating an officer in Covington County.
And that's not the only arrest tied to the Brookside Police Department. Officer Deshawn was arrested last week for rape. He has since been fired.
Tonight, WVTM 13's Chip Scarborough has reaction from the people of Brookside and the town's mayor.
It's been just over 3 months now since Mike Jones resigned as chief of the Brookside Police Department over allegations his officers unfairly ticketed drivers for profit. The sheriff of Covington County in South Alabama says Jones recently tried to use his old law enforcement badge to avoid a speeding ticket. People who live in the small Jefferson County town of Brookside say his arrest just adds to the list of negative developments.
It don't surprise me really, because all the things that he's been into, that it makes you wonder what else he's into.
I stopped by Brookside Town Hall on Monday afternoon to ask Mayor Mike Bryan about Jones' arrest. He told me no comment at the time, but later issued the following statement that reads in part, "Former Police Chief Mike Jones has not been employed by the town of Brookside since his resignation January 25th. All questions regarding his arrest should go to the Covington County Sheriff's Office."
I'm sure that things are going to get worse before they get better.
Throughout the past few months, we've heard from a number of people about their dealings with the Brookside Police Department. Most of them living outside of the town limits of Brookside, and those who were living here have since moved out. But for people still living here within these town limits, their dealings with the Brookside Police Department very personal, many too shy or uncomfortable to even share them, but some wanting to remember the town for what it was.
It makes you wonder what's going to happen to your town, because they're talking about doing away with the town.
And instead having Jefferson County oversee the area. In Brookside, Chip Scarborough, WVTM 13.
Mayor Bryan's statement went on to say, "We had no knowledge of Mike Jones' whereabouts after his resignation January 25th. I and the town council have been focused on restoring relationships with the community."
Well, today, Brookside's former police chief turned himself in on a charge of impersonating a police officer. The Covington County Sheriff's Office says that Michael Jones' arrest follows a traffic stop last month when he claims Jones used his badge to identify himself as the current chief to avoid traffic tickets. And another Brookside officer now charged with rape. The town says the sheriff's office informed the interim police chief today about a warrant for Deshawn. They say Cook is now no longer a Brookside officer.